I see you are a healer for women.
Yes, 100%. It's a blessing. It's all a gift. My goal is to awaken people and heal them and save as many lives as I can.
She's struggling. She knows that she's holding on to a lot. What should she read or where should she go to release it?
A lot of amazing medicine in life is free. Sunlight, sleep, love.
And what you just taught me is back to basics.
Yeah, it is. Remember to return home.
We have such an incredible guest today. We actually met when we both got nominated. I got nominated for Best Public Speaker of the Year, and you got nominated for Top Woman in Longevity, if I'm correct.
Yeah, longevity podcast,
And I didn't know who you were, which is shocking because the rest of the world does. So can you please tell everyone who you are and why you are who you are?
That's a deep part too. Well, I'm a longevity expert. I started out as a luxury travel influencer. My background is computer information systems. I'm a techie SQL programmer. I think that's where my brain comes from with all this longevity stuff and figuring it out. I traveled the world, worked in a news channel and had 3 positions there. And why do I do what I do? I got very sick 18 years ago and I had to get serious about my health. I trusted my amazing German doctor who was just following the best with what he learned in traditional medicine. And stuff showed up in my labs. It didn't make sense. He told me, stop worrying. And I stopped hormones. I kept playing with it. I did, it was a very scary time. So I read all the books on diets.
Was this blood or like a Pronovo scan? What was the conclusion, like from what type of, because there's so many options.
Yeah, back then there wasn't any Pronovo just yet. It was labs, so blood labs.
Just straight blood.
My blood, my hematocrit, hemoglobin were a little elevated, and then I started playing. I just stopped hormones completely and just kept checking it and doing all the diets, making the mistakes with the diets. And then I was a pescatarian for 5 years because I felt sorry for the animals. And that was a big mistake. I had super high heavy metal. I felt very ill one day in London, and the doctor did some labs, and I had, on a scale of 1 to 7 on mercury, 7 being the highest, I was at 23.
Whoa, I didn't even know 7 was the highest.
Well, each lab is different.
Like I didn't know the number. Oh, okay, but
each
still, that's different. A huge jump nevertheless.
Huge.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, oh my gosh. So I completely stopped eating everything. I just ate salads, olive oil, didn't do the toxin binders back then because I didn't understand it.
Explain what that is for someone who doesn't know our world.
Okay. So when you're eating healthy and you think you're healthy, you could actually have toxins going on that your regular doctor isn't checking. So you'd have to do labs, heavy metals, but there's also all sorts of different toxins. We have environmental toxins, mycotoxins, mold. Mycotoxins are the poop from the mold. So, and if you just change your diet all of a sudden one day and start doing things right, that stuff's still in your body. How do you get it out? How do you move it to the bile and get it to flush out of your body? You have to take toxin binders, which bind and help like chelate or take it out.
Is that the same thing as when I do a parasite cleanse, or no?
Kind of, yes. You're taking a binder
I know
for
there's a binder.
Yes, correct. And then there's different versions of binders. We have clay, EDTA, DMSA. You have different types of binders, and those work for specific type of toxins. For parasites, certain things work for parasites, but they're not necessarily working for, like zeolite is for heavy metals or other different stuff that you can take, from liquids, pills, IVs.
So basically, you realize you kind of lost a little bit of control of your health. And this is it's so crazy to me because all the women I know who are in health and longevity, it's always because something happened to them. Always.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times.
Well, we become disruptors, I like to say. And some people always have mentioned, oh, well, you're not a doctor. And I said, no, I'm not, but I sure know how to read labs. I learned to because I had to fix myself. I got to. And if I would have trusted he's a great doctor. He's the best in Munich, actually. He's just following the textbook and learning that he was taught. But I found my stuff. I insisted on a genetics test. He said, that's 300 pages. I said, do it. I basically found a genetic variant that had switched on based on all those toxins I had. I found the mold.
What do you think you got the mold from?
Just honey, you can get that in
A gazillion
any hotel
ways.
room.
A gazillion
the
ways.
HVAC system. There's so many.
This is why I get my every home tested for mold, because especially in Florida, there's a massive
good.
mold issue.
Yeah,
You know.
Florida. Also in cold places. So I ended up doing a story in Munich, and it's a old riding castle where my aunt has the apartment where I stay. And we don't have air conditioners in an old riding castle. It's 300 years old. And I was doing a story for a podcast show, and the results came back and they said, oh, we didn't really expect this. You've got all these different kind of mold. And I said, oh, I need to do a lab on my blood. Like, I just never thought I was that person. So every time I did a new lab and was curious and wanting to understand, I was that victim, or whatever you could say. I was that person. And so I got to figure it out. And then there's a way to detox. There's a way not to detox. And there's a way you can flush stuff back into the blood, back into your system. If your liver and your kidney aren't ready to support it, you're not ready. If you have a permeable gut or leaky gut syndrome, it's leaking back into your blood. You probably need a blood cleanse, and you need parasite cleanse. You've got to be timing it to the moon, because they let go of their babies, so
the moon is an indicator of everything.
Yes.
Even fishermen don't fish at certain times of the year, depending on the moon, because the moon affects the waves. And if the moon affects the waves and we're 85-90% water, what makes us think that we're not affected by the moon?
Yeah.
I'm spiritual.
Yeah,
so for
yeah.
me, and I'm a
I am
Cancer.
too.
So everything for me, even my ring is moonstone. Everything I do is operated by the moon.
I'm Cancer ascendant.
No, you're not.
Yes,
That
yes.
makes so much
We're
sense.
Twinkies.
You know what's so interesting? I want to go back to what you said, that you essentially became the victim in all these horrible situations. But I actually think, and I know you know this, that
I was a number.
the universe, God, whatever speaks to anyone, is actually using you to channel messages to then be a
100%.
healer for others.
Yes.
I see you are a healer for women.
Yes.
That's why you're
100%.
here.
I look back on it all, and of course, when I was starting out, I was like, oh my God, and then where do I start? And all this stuff, I had
It's
a lot.
overwhelming.
It's very overwhelming. And then, oh my gosh, I did it wrong. Oh my gosh, I should have done this, and I should have followed that. Okay, let me do this again. But I've realized over these last couple years, and I do all my Dr. Joe Dispenza meditation work and gratitude and all that, energy healing. I love that stuff. You and I are, on the same page. And I realize it's a blessing. It's all a gift, and it's a huge gift that I can now give back. And that's what I want to do. That's my purpose. And I love helping people. I always have. And now my goal is to awaken people and heal them and save as many lives as I can. And it's really cool, because I get people sending me, messages on
I bet.
on DM and saying, hey, I did those supplements and my labs changed, and I did it for 4 months. And I love to also consult. So I'll take look at root cause.
Why don't you have a course?
I guess I should. I was like, oh, that sounds like so much work.
A course where it's like, speaking as if someone is 5 years old and they have no idea where to start. I know this stuff, and I would still take it.
Yeah.
Because I can always learn something new, something that's easy to listen to, watch, read. I don't know. Probably video,
Yeah.
where it's this is what happened to
Yeah.
me. This is my protocol. Even though I'm not a doctor, I have become an expert because I know so many incredible doctors, but also it happened to me.
Yeah.
You become an expert in your own way when you have to heal yourself.
Exactly. That's exactly what's happened to me. Yeah, I would also add on to that. I've learned the general lay of the land, but I've made it my passion project to chase revolutionary technology and labs and diagnostics all over the world. So I'm that girl that flew last July during war to Israel to find a mitochondria DNA test. And back then, I had a few warnings. Hey, Natalie, you're going to have some negative backlash. And I did. I had a couple of comments, but I believe that there are no boundaries in medicine and wellness and healing.
Did you enjoy your time in Israel?
I loved it. Yeah, it was like the second time I'd ever been back.
Did you know I'm Israeli?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were Israeli. No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
I'm half
I knew you were
Israeli.
Jewish, but
My
I didn't
dad's
know.
side.
Ah.
Yeah, my
I
dad's
met
side's
Simon
Israeli.
Peres. I've
No
had
way.
coffee in his private
That's
home in
so
Jerusalem.
crazy.
It was the Friends of Germany with Israel.
Beautiful.
And I went because of the Sheba Hospital. So for many years.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, I supported the Sheba
That
Hospital.
hospital doesn't just take in Jewish people. They take in Arabs. They take in
Yes.
Muslims.
Yes,
You walk in,
Palestinians.
there's women in full hijab. People
Yes.
don't know that.
Yes, I talk about it.
Wow, that's so
I talk
powerful.
about it, and I know.
That's so powerful.
Yeah. And I supported their charities in Monaco. What was it? Is it St. Moritz? I went to the event in Tel Aviv, and I've been very involved. And I always say,
I'm so like I'm so I mean I've
touched.
always adored what you do, but it's really like wow.
I say it's probably the best hospital in the Europe area. Okay, I mean, it's maybe not Europe, but I say it's the best hospital, the best cancer research, the best rehabilitation center. I, had the best conversation. Even back then, I was already like buddies with like the head guy from Sheba and the head of the cancer research. And I thought, wow, these guys are investing money and they're really proactive about health and well-being. And I still talk to them. And I went in this research clinical trial for the DNA mitochondria is a very unique lab. They're healing kids with leukemia. So I found them. I went and chased it down. Last week, I went to India to go do a pathways molecular value test where these guys finished a clinical trial 4 years to pre-detect cancer stage 0. Biopsies are going to become obsolete because when our pathways get dysregulated based on all the toxins over time or because of what you're doing, that's when illness starts happening, plus an acidic body and all that. So if I can figure out my pathways and they have this really, it looks like an SQL program. Actually.
That's where your computer background, because you're one of those you're the type of woman who you like to solve things.
I do.
You're a solver. You see something and you're like, there's a missing gap here. And then you insert yourself to find the missing gap.
Yes. And I also believe that there's more ways that lead to Rome than just one.
Always.
So I think when this all started out, when I first found out about my genetic variant, I was like, what does that mean? Am I going to get leukemia someday? Am I going to have a blood cancer someday? That is where it can go if you don't catch it and clean up. So, went through all that, and then I was like, I'm going to find it. I'm going to find the cure, and I'm going to figure it out. And so I've always had that, thank goodness, this type of strength and belief system. Thank goodness to my parents or however this was instilled in me. And so I believe that everything is out there. It's just a needle in the haystack. You need to figure it out. And there are many tools. There are people healing. So I set out on this journey. And now you're seeing me really like 5 years later and I've had the time and I've made the choices to invest in this where other people are busy partying. Okay, I've also had fun partying and traveling, but I definitely go after, medical wellness retreats, chase the doctors, try to get the meetings, fly over to meet them. There's a really great guy, I think, that I've also just found that does unique biotech protocols and sequencing of modalities. I believe the root cause and changing medicine, that's the new frontier that we're living in.
Absolutely.
It's the best time to be alive. And I also talk about energy toxins, as I think that, so many people think that it's just your labs. It's not. It's your mind. It's your thoughts. It's your energy.
I want to go into that because I speak so much to consciousness and manifestation, which has become a trendy word, but it's actually quantum physics.
Yeah.
What have you seen personally? Because I can explain what I've seen personally. When someone changes their consciousness, they can heal their body. Have you seen anything specific that you really were just... You've seen so much shit. So
I've experienced it. I've experienced it. So I've seen a lot as well. I can share, my spleen was enlarged. My spleen was enlarged and we were watching it with ultrasound in Germany and probably like 3-4 years ago, something like that. It started every 6 months it started growing. And I was like, oh man, that caused a little bit of worry more worry. And each organ represents a certain emotion. The spleen is worry. The liver is anger, lungs are grief and sadness. Your chakra 1 is being grounded, feeling safe, feeling home. So
can you repeat that about the liver? I don't think most people know this.
Yeah, the liver is anger. And there's a really great book, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, where she talks about the different organs and and also Isabella Amoros. So I've interviewed all these people. I started doing this because I wanted to learn from them, share it on my podcast, but also learn and grow. So each organ represents a certain dis-ease, We can separate that
Dis-ease.
word.
Yeah, most people don't remember that disease is dis-ease. You're at dis-ease with your body.
Correct.
And also, I don't know if you know this, but you've spent so much time around Jewish people and you've been to Israel, that when we pray, especially in Kabbalah, which is more, so my great-grandfather on my dad's side was a famous Moroccan Kabbalist.
Oh, wow.
So that's why spirituality is actually really important to me. And I didn't come back to it till years ago because I always thought it was like silly folklore, like random tales that, you know, like you hear of Buddha and you're like, okay, but I didn't know Buddha, but I'm actually by blood connected to a famous Kabbalist.
Oh.
And once I started getting really into it, when you pray in Kabbalah, when you meditate and you pray, you place your hand over the areas of the body, head, shoulder, chest, heart.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
But you do it.
I do it.
Which
I do
must
it.
mean in a past life or something, I don't know what it is, but you already innately knew that. That's very, very considered
Intuitive.
strange if you don't know.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, I do.
That's really
I felt
cool.
It. I feel it.
How powerful is that?
That is. I have, I didn't, finally in a breath work, I saw myself. Actually, I saw this late. First, I saw my grandmother. So I think she was there to calm me at first, be like, hey, it's cool. Just keep going, surrender. And then this older lady showed up and she looked at me and she had like this, she was a higher priestess, but like from long time ago, because I went searching for this image of this lady, what she was wearing, to figure out what year, what country, what culture was this. I couldn't really find it. And she turned around and she looked at me and she looked in my eyes and I was like, it's me. Like it was an older 85-year-old lady and I could feel her soul was my soul. Like, so I know that's in the past.
How long ago did this happen?
That was probably 3-4 years ago in a dispensa retreat.
Wow.
After the breath work. But yeah, so the spleen, my spleen was increasing every, 6 months. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And my doctor, again, the German doctor, it's okay, don't worry, stop, And I knew that it meant worry. At the time, I was working a lot as an entrepreneur. You have a lot of things. I'd had, this go well, this go wrong, this,
Sure.
You have all this stuff. So,
Made money here, lost money there.
Yeah. All of a sudden, 2-3 clients stop the consulting agreement all in the same month. And you're like, oh, dang, like what do I do now? Yeah. And thank goodness I have some savings, but you still, like, I would worry.
Mm-hmm, of course.
That was my thing before. And so my father passed away.
Rest in peace.
In May, yes. My beautiful daddy. And that was 2 years ago. And when that happened, I just went silent that summer. I didn't go to Saint-Tropez and all the things I used to do.
All the glamorous things you just went in.
I went inwards. I didn't want to see anyone. I wanted to also feel him when he showed up, because I believe in that. I know that. I grew up on the ocean with nature. Like, I've been able to talk to animals and feel spirits my whole life. For us, it's normal in my culture. So I completely changed. By the time August rolled around, the end of the summer, I came back to Houston and I told my brother-in-law and my sister, I'm like, y'all are all getting checked. We're all doing a full body MRI. We went to advanced therapy in Houston. They're amazing. And I had to drag my brother-in-law kicking and screaming because he's a good old Texas boy.
Of course, I was going to say, yeah, like the Southern
no,
guys.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
You're going. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. I love that. That's so funny.
Yeah. He was
But then he ended up enjoying it.
Well, I don't know if he enjoyed it. He did it because I was like, well, I paid it already, so it's done.
It's like,
so
come
now
on,
you're
just
gonna waste
try to
it. Like,
just try to get into
that
it.
was the only way I could get him to go.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting and getting the review, and the lady does my sister this and that. My sister found out some little stuff that we could be proactive about. Everything was great with my brother-in-law, and she looks at me and she's like, oh, well, you're great. Everything's great with you. Like, there's nothing. And I'm like, yeah, but my enlarged spleen, right? That's still there. She said, no, there's nothing with your spleen. And I'm like, no, I've been growing every 6 months for the last 2 years. I know that it's enlarged. And she's like, no. And I literally sat back in the chair, looked at my sister across from me, and I said, wow, that's what they talk about when they say we can heal with our mindset.
Beautiful.
And so, that same summer, I went to a great place I love, Villa Eden It's the original Cheneau, because they have another one where he went to, and then they sold the brand.
Explain to someone who doesn't know what that is.
You're right. So Cheneau is a big longevity clinic, wellness clinic.
Massive.
We have massive, very well known. Henry Cheneau had, he combined Western and Eastern medicine techniques. And so I love visiting all these places like Shah, going to one called Zem. And I've also done Panchakarma, Ayurveda. I believe that's really important. Ancient modalities are always worked. So yeah, those are the best. So I went to Villa Eden, and there was this really great guy, and he did this technique where he kind of does body talk, like a kinesiology body talk. He doesn't talk to you, he just moves your hands. And then he went to me, and we did one where I got to say goodbye to my father and be me saying goodbye, and then get into his shoes talking to me and it was very emotional. And what was crazy was I really felt like my dad show up and hold me on my arm during that session. And I was like, wow. But we went into another session because I was like, I'm going to get all this junk out of me. I'm going to get it all out because our body keeps score and it stays in here. So he goes and he says, oh, what happened at age 11? He's like, what hurt you? You had betrayal. And I said, oh, Eva Schnitzenbaumer. And I love her. Everything is, a learning lesson. There's nothing bad or good in life.
That's correct.
She was like my second mom. And at the time, we were in a band. We were like the number 2 teeny band. I was a singer and guitar player. Yeah. I was on TV and in magazines.
Stop, that's so cute.
I was. Train trackers.
You've lived like 50 lives.
I
love it. I love it. I think it's really cool.
And I go with the flow. I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah.
My mother was like that too. She always.
I was going to say, is it your mom or dad?
She pushed me in that direction.
Beautiful.
And my dad was like, okay. She was the strong German. Anyway, so he goes in, and we basically worked on this trauma that I had still stored, that she said, well, I hired the guys, so you guys created the music, but my son is going to own all the rights to the lyrics and the songs that you created. And I said, wait a minute, I wrote all the lyrics, so I should get 50%. And I remember that, like, I grew up around them my whole life. So she was a very trusted family member. And I remember there was no one there. I was staying with them, and I had nobody protecting me. And I was really hurt and disappointed that she, was insisting on that. In the end, I got my right, and I got the lyrics on my name at the GEMA in Germany. And what was interesting was, after we did all that, I cried. I was her. She forgave me. I forgave her. We did this technique. And I'm just laying on the bed, and all of a sudden I have this massive ball of like pain, like a baseball size knot just going, and I felt it lifting. And I said, what is that?
Release, energy release. Yes.
I felt it.
If a woman who
physically
doesn't know anything about this world, she's struggling, she knows that she's holding on to a lot. What should she read, or where should she go to release it? This is exactly why I want you to start a course. Like, I would give you a bunch of questions so that you could answer as if you're speaking to a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I feel like God has given me a gift to experience all these things personally, because it's so hard sometimes to explain it unless you've felt it.
The best teachers have had to experience.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So I believe breath work is really amazing.
So you would say breath work first.
I would say breath work first.
Which is free.
Yeah, it's free.
You can watch on YouTube.
A lot of amazing medicine in life is free. Sunlight, sleep, choosing the right food, love is medicine, and breath work. Some breath work is free online, right? And then it depends what kind of breath work.
I was going to say, there's a gazillion different options. What do you like?
And how closed are you here? Like, how much are you living up here versus being open to let it? Because I've done a lot of different breath work and it didn't really work. And I remember I was annoyed by doing breath work for an hour. And now in hindsight, where I am now, if I were to tell someone I wish I would have started with breath work sooner.
I would never have expected you to say that. Yeah. I don't know why. I love breath work. Mm-hmm. I just don't know why I wouldn't have expected you to reach for that first.
Yeah, I look at that now and I think, I wish I'd done that sooner. But I do believe that a lot of us need multiple variety of modalities. I've done variety of modalities to get there. We're all different. We're all at different states. So many of us are, like
Do
I
you do
said,
guided though, or do you do your own thing?
guided. I do now just a box breath when I catch myself.
Can you take us through what that looks like? I want to do it with you.
Oh, okay, let's do that. Yeah, so when you're feeling like that nervous or in your stomach, just or the thoughts racing in your head, or you're late, or you have a meeting, or whatever it is, just remind yourself like it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And then the general rule is 5 in, 5 hold, 5 out, and then 5 hold. It's very simple. And
Let's do it together, just so
let's do it together.
for
And then you
reference.
shut off your phone. Best is close your eyes.
Okay.
To get in the moment. And if you want, even like connect with your heart. Feel that beautiful heart that's taken you through so much, and have so much gratitude for this beautiful body. And you go 5 in. Hold 5, 3, 4, 5, out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And in this space is when we come back to our natural source, our real power and energy, instead of this fight or flight mode.
Ugh, the worst.
And so many of us are not aware. I wasn't aware.
I teach my son this, 6 years old. The irony is I tell him to breathe in and out. And what you just taught me is back to basics.
Yeah,
and
it is.
When
Remember
your
to
nervous
return
system
home.
is, dysregulated, which happens throughout the day, work, family, whatever it may be, just to do what you suggested, just for a few minutes.
It's easy. It's just a couple minutes.
I actually like to even take it a step further, since I can't physically sit on the ground with grass all the time.
I do that too.
I physically ground myself. Even if I were in a place like this or at home, I like to sit on the floor just to physically ground myself. But I would prefer grass.
I also, especially for us women, like sitting and kind of spreading your legs and being down and sticking your first energy center on the ground, like really having that.
So where would your legs go? Like,
well, kind of like, what do you
like a
call that
spider
in English? Yeah, like a.
so you want
your
the first
knees
chakra to be
touch the
grounded as
ground.
much. I've never
Yeah.
heard this before,
Yeah.
but it makes sense.
I do that sometimes when I'm doing sauna and having a round of that, and I've got real grass, and I go down, and especially after, for women, if you're having your period and you're grounding like really during that time, like go there and connect to Mother Earth.
Beautiful.
And say, I am safe, I am loved, I am worthy, I am divine light, and I'm healthy. All these things, they sound so simple. I remember another tool I started with was really mirror work, looking in the mirror.
I do that. I love that.
And saying that. And I remember
Looking
when I
in
first,
your eyes,
yes,
too.
yes. And I remember when I first started out doing that, I couldn't really look at myself and mean it. And that's when you catch yourself. You're like, oh, I need to work on that
Beautiful.
sentence that I'm not
Beautiful.
truly believing, because it's the subconscious.
When I do
Tapping into the
seminars, we get these mirrors on Amazon, the handheld ones, and we force all the women in the seminar,
Oh,
me and my
cool.
partner, for them to look at themselves in the mirror.
Fabulous.
And my partner taught me that the left eye is connected to, I should know this, some sort of chakra, which I didn't know that the left and the right were different. You would love this woman. You'd be obsessed with her. I have to
I
connect you
love
to.
it.
And we
Yes.
make everyone look with their left eye and repeat certain affirmations. And for some women, it's so physically uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's
It is,
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
and
crazy.
I'm like,
and
well,
it's,
there it is.
There it is. There it is. But it's a good way to, I've been working on myself, and I feel it's peeling the layers of the onion, and it's always working on myself. And I do like energy stuff. I've done like healing on Zoom. I went to India and met Yash, who healed a guy that I know from cancer, and he was just working on my pineal gland. And when you're in that homeostasis, that true relaxed state, you're naturally healing. Your body has all the tools to heal
All the tools.
naturally. It's when we're too, busy and in fight or flight that we're ruining our nervous system and ruining all the other connections and the cellular connections over time. If you're very much in your head, then I do believe that, some type of coaching, NLP is great, IFS, internal family systems. Actually, I still have to do an interview with him. I promised him.
You're like, speaking of which,
That's another thing on the list. And nature, for me, like nature is big. looking at that sunset and saying my affirmations. And I also, I'm not a girl that believes in Ibiza and popping pills, but I believe that doing a psychedelic in a very safe environment for personal growth, best one-on-one, or, really with setting intentions and going within the right type, is a great tool. I'm not sure I'm the one who's going to say, go do ayahuasca. I've never done it. I'm still scared of that. But I did a mixture combo of psilocybin with MDMA. I liked that. The gentleman that I did it with, he's amazing. He held great space for me, and it's a light heart opener, so you can open your heart, get out of your mind. And then the mushroom helps you go into the subconscious.
It's funny you're mentioning this. I've never publicly said this ever, and my mother will probably kill me for this, but I did mushrooms for the first time ever a few months ago. I felt like I was in the right place. I think in order to do this, and I'm sure you would agree, you have to be in the right place, mindset, and heart to do it.
Yes.
And you need to know if you have an addictive personality or not. I don't, except to shopping. But I did this, and I had the biggest breakthrough of my life, to the point that I was crying the most beautiful, happy tears in the shower. And and I'll share this openly, I was in a relationship at one point where, even though I had accepted how it ended, I hadn't really accepted who he is now. Mm-hmm. And by doing this experience, I really felt at a cellular level of true acceptance and true love. And real love is not resenting and holding on to the past. It's truly allowing that person to be who they are without resentment and with pure love.
Yes.
And had I not done this mushrooms, and I'm so sorry, Mom, please forgive me, because she was like, now my daughter's a drug addict. I'm like, I'm not a drug addict.
Old-fashioned. We got to break those old-fashioned limiting beliefs. And you did. You're the generation that's changing it.
I really had, Natalie. I had such a beautiful experience, and I felt at a cellular level. Yeah. I called my best friend, who's actually in the other room right now. I said to her, I just had the most life-changing experience, and I feel so at peace.
Yeah, I've been there.
And if you asked me 5 years ago if I would ever do mushrooms, the answer would have 100% been no.
I feel like Miami is the mushroom city. I don't know. I would have.
I think it used to be LA though.
5 years ago, I would have. Well, I don't know. I didn't really.
Maybe I think
I was never in that stuff. But I remember when I came to Miami, I'm like, man, all these people doing mushrooms. That's not me.
So why did you end up moving to Dubai? I kind of want to touch point on that as well. Yeah. You ended up there for how long? Why?
Well,
I love Dubai, by the way. I've been a few times. It's fantastic.
I love Dubai. I just want to say to the last part of what you said, I think forgiveness is so important. And you're forgiving not for them, for you. Like the liver is anger. Anger is the poison you drink when you think you're hurting someone else.
And isn't thyroid also connected to the liver?
Thyroid is when you're not speaking your truth, when you're not speaking or holding back or too much anger or anything related to what you're saying, how you're speaking.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I thought that was also somehow correlated. Well, everything's correlated.
The liver is correlated to everything. Everybody should be doing liver flushes a lot to support the liver.
How do you do a liver flush,
Actually,
Natalie?
It's quite easy. I'll send you a little recipe.
But maybe so mad at you that you don't have a course. I'm going to keep texting you. Did your course come out? Did your course come out?
Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe I will.
Very cool.
I've only been thinking of the idea lately, actually, so it's good. You're motivating me. I really wanted to write a book. That's kind of what I've been in my head about. But so Dubai, I've partnered with this blood cleanse that's a unique proprietary blood cleanse. It's a full body blood filtration mechanism. I believe the future is blood cleanse. We're all going to get an oil change for our body. There's so much chronic illness. People are so inflamed. They have no idea. They're not doing the right labs. And they're all like, I went to my doctor. I got all the labs. I'm like, yeah, let me see that, because I'm sure you didn't get all your labs. I'm sure they didn't check. I'll bet you money they didn't check for mold. Bet you they didn't check for environmental toxins. I'm sure you've got here, there's this test. You want to do this? Put your finger here. Do you feel your pulse?
Yep.
You've got parasites.
Shut up.
That's how it works. We all have it.
But we all have, all humans do.
But
in other countries, it's very normal to do parasite cleanses.
Yeah.
When I tell people I do a parasite,
you do it for your dog and your cat, but you don't do it for yourself.
And we eat sushi. Some people, my ex is French. My husband and his family eat raw meat all the time. Yeah. Tartare.
Yeah.
It's quite common to do.
It's quite common. It's also in pork. So I healed myself and changed a lot of my labs with this blood cleanse. I did the Ibu. I tried the apheresis. I'm half German, so I'm in Munich. So I've been around these apheresis,
Munich is so
plasma.
big in health and wellness too.
Yeah, well, especially in this type of blood cleanse. And by the way, a lot of people are like, oh my God, blood cleanse. This has been around since 1945.
My girlfriend got oyster poisoning, so severe, and she did a plasma
Exchange? Or
exchange.
TPE?
Plasma. I believe it was a plasma exchange after she cleansed her blood, and her bag was all yellow. You're talking about when they lift the bags and they show like the
Did
color of.
Yep. Well,
Yep.
there's two different kinds. There's the enosphoresis or apheresis where you have the bag, and then there's a TPE, which is a therapeutic plasma exchange. So you take your plasma out and exchange it for human-derived albumin, and I'm against that one.
Okay, good to know.
For a couple reasons.
Okay,
but-
because someone else's shouldn't be coinciding with yours.
We all have consciousness. So you're taking human-derived. I think we can naturally heal. If you're very, very toxic and have serious issues, then yes, the TPE is probably the right choice for you. It depends on your labs, how toxic you are, what specific issues you have. So, the apheresis is great for heavy metals, cytokines, inflammation markers. The Purify, which is the hemoperfusion full body, goes in through the femoral vein, the one that I'm promoting now, and we're opening with a hospital in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and in Cancun, a
When is
longevity.
this going to be available via health insurance?
I would love that.
I would love that.
I would love for it to be
probably
available.
years.
Probably years, but you know what? We need to change the narrative. We need to stop thinking that, hey, if the insurance doesn't cover it, I'm not going to do it. You spend that money on yourself for a nice car,
Nails,
outfit,
hair.
vacation, birthday party.
How much does it cost?
Alcohol. It depends. The apheresis one is probably $3,000.
Okay.
And the full body is more intricate. They go in, with an anesthesiologist just to get the right vein. It's a bigger blood flow. And it also gets rid of forever chemicals, by the way, which we're exposed to. And
Every day, Lululemon and Shein.
Did you see that? It's going viral
I saw you
right
post
now.
that, and all my girlfriends who post that. I was like,
Yeah.
not Lululemon too.
Oh, yeah.
Lululemon and Shein. We all knew Shein used chemicals.
Shein
We
and-
know
and-
that we've known that for a long
And
time.
if ladies are wearing no underwear with that, oh yeah, honey, it's going, oh, you are? I always wear underwear.
I don't.
But the guys with Lululemon, that's going straight in.
and
so
it's the most sensitive area.
And it's all the skin. This is
Mateo, I hope you're listening to this. Did you
He's
hear
not
what she
paying
just
attention.
said? Mateo, you
Don't
should be
wear
listening to
Lululemon.
this. She's a longevity expert, and she's talking about how Lululemon they're getting into a lot of trouble now with all the chemicals in their workout clothes. Shein, Lululemon, they're being sued left and right because this clothing has a lot of chemicals, and it's affecting men's areas because the chemicals are going straight into their private areas.
Yep.
God,
Yep.
I don't use those.
Cotton is the way. No, but it's crazy because
Cotton.
I feel like men don't know this stuff because they're just too busy, doing whatever.
Fruit of the loom. Bring back fruit of the loom.
100%. It's
Remember
100%
that?
cotton, no?
From the 80s.
Isn't that 100% cotton?
Probably. I don't know. They probably have changed in manufacturing
God
in
only
China and
knows.
added some stuff since then. But yeah, it's hiding in everything. Mostly it's hiding in our kitchen, in the restaurants, and
Terrifying.
in the pots
And
and
you can't
pans.
control everything.
You
but
can.
You
But
want to
you
be
can-
conscious of it.
You want to be conscious, and detox is a lifestyle.
Beautiful.
So if you're just doing your detox twice a year, it's about 2 weeks, do a parasite cleanse, liver
Yep.
flush. If you're just being proactive in doing that, get in a sauna. That's like the easiest, quickest way. Sweat that stuff out. Make sure you take a toxin binder right before. That's the most ideal way to do sauna properly.
Never knew
and
that.
you can reduce it also even gets certain microplastics out. 'Cause
Never knew
Brian
that.
Johnson talked about it. And
I would never think to take a binder before going into the sauna, ever.
Yeah. I think I tell everyone, start somewhere.
Anywhere.
Don't get overwhelmed. Start somewhere and then go in phases, because I go in phases and I'm always doing this and then the next one and then you get better. And so, I do advise people on what to take. I also consult and will look at people's labs. I love taking complicated cases because I want to guide them in a different direction than where their doctor has just said, let's medicate you or give you chemo or give you a pill. I'm like, no, let's come to the root source of why this is created and where are the toxins and how are they coinciding, like mold and Lyme. A lot of us have Lyme. We don't even know it. I have Lyme. So I've been working on reducing that. And as long as it's in a minimal range, you're fine. But then you add the mold and the Lyme and you add on all the other heavy metals and the electromagnetics of, our, iPhones and Wi-Fi's. You light up like a microwave, honey.
100%.
And that's inside your blood. And what do you think it's doing? So I believe the blood cleanse is just the future. Ebu's pretty decent for people who are healthy.
I feel like I would do that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Ebu because it's more of an...
Because I'm pretty healthy.
Okay, good.
And
as long as you've done
I
all
run my
the
blood
right
every
labs.
3 months, which I want your thoughts on too.
What are you checking? Like,
That
have
part.
you checked your...
That part.
Like, I love Vibrant Total Toxins tests. They look at 5 different groups of toxins.
Vibrant Total Toxins.
Yeah. And if you want, I'll give you Melissa. It's a home lab kit. It'll ship to your house. You do your
and that
thing.
covers mold.
That covers mold, mycotoxins,
Beautiful.
environmental toxins, various heavy metals. So it's about not just, hey, I did my labs. No, it's did you do the right labs and did you do all the variety of toxins and do you have glyphosate? For example, I have glyphosate. I got rid of glyphosate. You know, living in America, a lot of us have that. And that's a megatoxin that needs special binders to get rid of. And
Reminds people what glyphosate is, please.
Glyphosate is basically in your gluten, your wheat products,
They spray it
cereal.
all over.
They spray it as pesticide, mostly pesticides that we don't see or feel. And there's no real labs for it. Your doctor is never going to check you for it. You have to do it yourself.
You have to be proactive
You have
about
to be
your health,
proactive.
your consciousness.
Be the CEO of your life.
So that you don't
and
end
your
up
health.
like every other American, which I would say, I forget what the study was, you probably know this, that 70%, I could be wrong, of Americans are on some sort of pill.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend who was on this podcast, Martha Graff, I'm sure you know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
She said she was prescribed Xanax, birth control, Adderall. She had just moved here. She said, I had a doctor put me on 3 different pills. She was dumbfounded by the fact that the doctors weren't suggesting to change her lifestyle. And that's why she got obsessed with health and wellness.
Well, it's the old Rockefeller system. It's the sick care system. It's not about root cause. And, you know, plant medicine is free, and it's not free.
I
buy
take
it,
so
but
many
plant
herbs.
medicine is so healthy for you.
Yes.
And you still have to watch out with like the Chinese herbs because some of them have mold. But I
don't buy any, like,
I
food
have a
stuff from
family
China.
member that felt something, went to the doctor, and they said, oh, I need to check this. I think I want an X-ray. And they're like, something wrong with you. Let's give you some like Xanax. They wanted to prescribe her some kind of whatever. Thank goodness she kept digging. She went to some hole in the wall, Mexican area where they were happy to take her insurance and didn't say no. She found a dark area, and we ended up finding stage 1 neuroendocrine tumor of the pancreas.
Horrible.
And she randomly felt it, which was also bizarre because
She was
she's
in tune with her
connected.
body.
Yeah, and they just wanted to give her pills. Can you imagine?
This is the way here for some reason. I want to talk about, so for me personally, peptides have completely changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed my energy. They've changed my recovery from workouts. And I love that I run my blood with my nurse practitioner every 3 months. And I
Amazing.
can see the markers of where I'm
Yeah.
at. What to do, what to not do. Oh, I don't really like your level here. Let's do this. What are your thoughts on peptides?
Mm-hmm.
And how often do you run your blood? And how often do you suggest others run their blood?
Well, I'm kind of a freak. I love checking my blood.
Yeah, you're like, this is my whole life.
I'm like, what are my babies doing
Yeah,
now?
literally, because you can clock everything.
I like clocking and checking how everything. So I think everybody should check. Probably normal is twice a year or once a year, once or
Unless
twice
you're
a
on
year.
peptides, maybe you check every few months.
Unless you're on a bunch of different stuff or you have issues or whatever. And then the thing is, I'm doing my labs. Are you really doing your labs? What labs are you doing? And not every microbiome lab is the same. Not every lab that you're doing is right. Are you really looking in detail at all the various inflammation markers? Are you looking in the variety of different toxins? Are you looking, for all these things that are causing the inflammation? So I would say like going into the depths of that. But yeah, I didn't even get to finish on the Ebu, but
Yeah, I'm like, we have the ADD. I want to talk to you for 5 hours and I can't.
yeah. But for me, yeah, I check myself a little more. I always like to see before and after. So I did the before and after with the Ebu to see how it changed me. Ebu is not really a cleanse. It's more an ozonation and an oxygenation. So you have to definitely check if you have G6PD genetic variant, because then you shouldn't be ozonating too much like that. So you could have a reaction. If you're highly inflamed and have a lot of co-infections, which a lot of us do.
And if someone's really sick,
and
they probably have a lot of that.
They will have a reaction. So if you're generally healthy, it's okay. But Ebu is selling also a package of 5. The reason is because you need multiple of them. So, but you could do an apheresis one time. That's good. Again, I said...
It's like a laser package. You don't get rid of your mustache with one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you should actually explain it.
That is funny.
I can't get rid of my mustache with one session. They'll be like, no, your hair follicles nails grow every 30 days.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the truth.
So it depends on how deep you want to go, what your specific issues are, what stuff you're getting out. But I think that a lot of us are exposed to these like glyphosate, forever chemicals, environmental. I had one client, well, I can say it was my sister, but I went home for Christmas and she has a gas stove and she was cooking. I'm like, I can't be in the kitchen. This smells. I smell the gas. And I opened the door and my brother-in-law, what you doing? You know, air conditioner. And I always like making fun of my sweet brother-in-law.
He sounds so funny. He sounds like such like a Southern guy.
Teddy bear. and so I close the door, you know, and this and that. And she's like, okay, I'm going to get it fixed. So I come back the next trip. She's like, yeah, it was fixed. And I'm like, I can't. I still smell it. So I got her to do the total toxins test, and sure enough, we had all these different like oil, gas, whatever toxins. I forget which ones they were now, but all was on there. And I go, I told you. And so
God only knows what happens to the people that work at gas stations.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and that sits on your chromosome.
Or perfume manufacturers.
I don't use perfume. I don't use nail polish anymore.
I only use a non-toxic perfume.
But you'll have to share that with me.
Yeah, you would be obsessed with this girl too. There's like a million people I want to connect you with. It's 100, and not like Salt
Natural
and Stone,
flowers.
which by the way I love Salt and Stone, even though it's not 100% clean. But hers is 100% clean and it doesn't smell like dirt.
Okay.
But nails, I can't get there.
Yeah, well, but but with nails, there's also non-toxic nail polish you could use.
It doesn't last. I'm a mom.
Okay. But I know for ladies, I read something like we have 200,000 chemicals in skin products, makeup, hair color, all these things, mascara, all that stuff. I set off the bomb alarm in Nice once, and that was the first time that was like 10 years ago. Set off the bomb alarm, and the lady's like, you need to go through again. I'm like, this is so weird. I went through second time, boom, set it off again. And I'm like, I'm about to miss my flight to Munich. And the lady's like, sorry, we got to call security and the police, and we have to make a file, and we have to put your passport down. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, I'm not. And she said, did you just take a shower and put on the lotion in your hotel room? And I said, yes. And I think it was like a JW Marriott. I'll probably never be invited.
Products.
I'll never be invited back again
products.
now. But yeah, and that's when I was clocking it like 10 years ago, and I started paying attention to the creams that go into our skin, just like pools, chlorine water. A nice good hack for that is put coconut oil on.
I was just going to say, I swapped out certain products and I started using coconut. I still use chemicals a lot on my face. I'm a SkinCeuticals addict, but I use coconut oil from here down. So I try to find things that I can swap out.
Yeah, that are healthy.
Yeah. I will never get rid of OxyClean, but I changed my Tide detergent to Molly Suds. Like find
good.
Very important chemicals, Crest white strips. Nothing's like it. I still use that, but I flip flop and try to find things because I love efficacy. So I try not to get rid of that because I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But I do try to find things that are alternatives for other things that aren't required of efficacy.
Me too. And I've been trying to find, I do a lot of non-toxic makeup, but I'm still using my Armani because that's my color.
Yeah.
And
you find
you find the stuff that you flow in and out of. There's a great brand called Crunchy, CRUNCHI. They're pretty decent, but still haven't found my color. And last summer I was trying, and my aunt in Munich, she was so funny. She's like, you look like Donald Trump. You're very orange. And I'm like,
stop.
And I was just trying to make it work. And I was like, no, I can't.
You're like, I can't.
I look orange. It's not good.
What are your top 3 non-toxic makeup brands?
Oh, oh my gosh. I don't even remember their names. But I use...
Say, SAIE.
I go to that store in Sunset Harbor.
G Beauty.
Yes.
The girls are so cool.
I go there and I buy my blush and all my lipstick stuff. I use Crunchy a lot. I don't use the base yet. They're working on a new color, they told me, but I use all the lip liners, lip gloss, eye stuff, creams and lotions, also them, and Junebird is another company.
They're Korean.
I don't know where they're from,
they're Korean.
But I use them, and they're nice, good, easy to travel products. I also buy a lot of actually healthy in Dubai. I love Dubai. I've fallen in love with Dubai, and I buy a lot of these very just Korean products imported with natural geranium, natural whatever. Like I try to do that and hydrate, water. That's really important.
That's where I struggle. I don't drink
salt
enough water.
I know, me too. So I make it a point that every morning that I really have 2 glasses of water and I have salt in my water.
Just a little salt?
Hydrate, yeah.
For the
But that's salt
electrolytes?
because a lot of times we just drink that water, it just flushes straight through. It's not really sticking. So you've got to add the salt. That's kind of the secret. But yeah, so Dubai, yeah, I love Dubai. I was there for the fireworks, and what a beautiful country. What amazing people. I love the leadership, truly a country of peace.
Agreed.
And while all that was going on, you know, people were running and leaving and this and that. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, is this happening? Like, am I in a place that's, you know, in the middle of war? And am I in danger? But the interesting thing with all this stuff that I work on myself, I felt safe.
Beautiful.
And I prayed and I have my faith. And I also always look at what do we share in common? You know, Jewish, Muslim, Christian. We all believe in the light.
Absolutely.
Nur in Muslim is the light of we all why
connect.
can't
We all
we're
want
all
to connect to
connected.
light.
We are all one in the light.
In
Whatever that
Torah,
God is in one.
100%. In Torah, it states, and in Kabbalah and spirituality in Kabbalah was rooted, Jewish mysticism was rooted in the idea that until all three Abrahamic Accords, Judaism and Christianity and Islam, until all three are united, there will be no peace on earth. And that's why in Israel, all three have a space there and coincide, because it's rooted, it's written, until all three are united, there will be no peace. So,
And wasn't this Easter was the first time that we all coincided with all three religions having the same weekend or days of the same celebration?
These things don't happen by accident. There is no, in Kabbalah, there's no such thing as a coincidence.
Yeah, I agreed. Same way we met right there in the car, like on your way out.
I was like, hey.
Yeah, I was like, hey, let's connect. Okay, good.
What is next for you?
Oh, what is next for me? Apart from saving the world as much as I can. I'm excited for the clinic opening. Well, the clinic's already opening, but the blood cleanse being open in Cancun, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi by the fall. Then I plan on taking my nephew and my family on a beautiful birthday holidays in about a month in May to Tulum in Mexico. I love Mexico. And I think I'm going to probably, I'm going to New York. I've got a bunch of meetings there. I want to work with a lot of the big, having in big talks with some large or well-known medical clinics.
Beautiful.
Wellness clinics, 2 big brands. So advising, consulting, helping others get their message out and share their supplements, their beautiful, healing modalities. I'm going to start doing more podcasts. I've got Dr. Ed Group from Global Healing Institute, Dr. Brian Ardis, and yesterday Thomas with you, just getting out there more and investing more in that, which I didn't do. I would love to do a book. It's kind of been in my...
And a course.
And a course.
Please.
So New York, then I'm going to do brain training. I'm going to BioCybernaut. I always invest in myself and find time for me, because the most important person is me, my health, my life, my body, and then I can give to others and my family. So we're going to do brain training in Sedona. I'm excited because there's a church in the mountain or something, and apparently there's a vortex. So
insane.
I'm going to let you know what I feel.
Insane.
And then LA to see some friends and another really cool clinic that I want to work with. And yeah, what else? Then we'll be heading to Europe. I'm going to be doing a talk in London at Tramp Private Members. I used to live in London, so it'll be nice. And then I'll be in Munich for a little bit and do my little tour of hanging out with my aunt, my friends there.
She sounds so cute.
She is.
She sounds like a cutie.
She's like my second mama.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Where can everyone find you? What's your handle and what platforms are you on?
I'm on Instagram, Island Natalie, and Legacy Life, LYFE is my podcast on Instagram. My website is Natalie Lefevre, LEFEVRE.com. And yeah, I'm usually really good at replying to my own DMs. my emails. I got a team of amazing girls. And yeah, I do consulting. If somebody has any questions, I do a 90-minute consult. I can look at your labs, make sure that we get you your labs or connect to someone that can do home lab kits or send you to a place in your area, your region, no matter where you are in the world.
Thank you so much for being here. Such a wealth of knowledge. I'm so glad that you came, and I'm excited to see where you go from here. And I'll be bothering you every 5 seconds.
I'm doing
Thank
that
you
class.
for being here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, honey.